Okay. Let's see if we can do this again.
What company is this?
What, the shoe?
Yeah,
Oh, that was a cheap one. That was a Vega company.
Vega. You out there?
Nah,
I ride pretty good.
I had lots of Vega, and Vega wasn't even that good. But it was a
love
good
your
buy.
boots.
But
I love your boots.
every third boot is generic and messed
That's
up. So
him.
whatever here.
If you look in the spot, hey, I got you.
Okay.
Don't diss.
Let him fool you if you want to.
500 plus followers on Instagram. I could be a good add-on to your comment. Just saying.
All right, so here we go.
If you need.
We're gonna do this podcast thing again. I'm gonna see if we can get it taken care of. This podcast, talk show, motorcycle series, whatever you want to do, we want to go from there. This will be part 4 or 5. I think in part 5. Actually, I'm still tired. Just came back. We went out for a ride, what we call fly in ride getaway weekend to Las Vegas, and it was pretty good. It was about 87. I think it even got up to 90 degrees, so it was definitely well deserved because we've been freezing out here in Colorado. And it actually snowed and everything else, but it looked like it was going to be a good streak of 3, 4, 5 days of good weather. So I thought we'd take advantage of it. So we went out there. We had to check in on the motorcycles and stuff like that anyway. So we're going to talk about a little bit about that. Also, that was my son back in the back who just basically busted his cherry. He did the ride from Las Vegas all the way to Colorado through the Rockies and everything else. So we're going to talk about that. So let me see. Let me go ahead and roll the footage, get this thing started. And then we're going to get into the details about it, okay? Here we go.
You're now listening to A-Rod Music.
Hey, welcome to another ride day. I'm sorry. I'm freezing out here today. Was hanging out in Las Vegas all weekend, and it was 80, 87 and 90 degrees. And then we're back here in Colorado, and it actually snowed again. So, I mean, that's what April's like in Colorado, but that's also why I keep some of the bikes in Las Vegas, so I can get that all year round riding season, get that good weather whenever I want it. So that way season doesn't bother me too much. So anyway, just in time, give me a little something to eat.
There you go.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm starving. All right, close the door. Quick. Come on. So anyway, so we brought some of the bikes back. So you see in the garage. Let me see if I messed the stuff up. So we got the oops, backwards. The Cruiser's still in there. I still got to do some work on her. You got some time for that. And then of course on the other side you see the that's the 1200X. It's the Cross Tour. They call it VFR 1200X here, but it's the Cross Tour in Europe. It's the largest adventure bike that Honda has, kind of competes with the BMW one. And then of course we have what's the other one in there? That's what is that? Oh, the Kawasaki Z 650. So that's a special edition one I got for my son. That's what he learned to ride on. So he's actually just coming up on not even a year riding. So I think we started training him in June and July of last year, and put him through the Ride Day School program and stuff like that, and taught him. And he definitely did some impressive stuff, picked up on it right away. So kudos to him for that. And then we did a couple of maybe 2-3 hour rides last year to make sure, he really learned the bike, learned the techniques, even took him up in the mountains a little bit. So he had a chance to learn that type of stuff. And that was good. And then finally took a chance and did brought him out to Denver. Brought him out to Las Vegas for his first fly-in ride getaway weekend. When we fly into one of the storage units or the garages that we have set up across the country. We got Baltimore, of course. That's where I'm from. So I got property and got stuff up there. We also have Denver, which is the Denver garage. You've seen that in the other videos. So that's where I'm at right now, the Denver garage. And then also Las Vegas. So we got a storage garage out there, pretty good size. I kept most of the bikes out there. So, there are 5 motorcycles out there. So we have that. And we're probably going to do one in it's a little debate between either Dallas or Orlando. So we've been talking about that, and I don't know, we're kind of back and forth with it. I mean, Florida makes a lot of sense because it gives us that extra all season riding. But from my experience and the research I've done, Florida rains a lot. I mean, nobody ever talks about that. It rains a lot in Florida. So to sit here and to have a storage unit in Florida for motorcycles to sit there most of the time, I mean, you have to time out the weekends to see if it's going to rain or not. But during the hardest part of the year, it's always raining, and then it goes into that hurricane season. So, I mean, it wouldn't be until maybe October, November, December I would appreciate it a little bit, but I can't see having a storage unit or a garage down there just for those. I don't know. It doesn't work out for me, but I'm going to talk to the other members, and we're going to talk with them and see what they want to do. They may be able to frequent Florida a little more than I will. And then there's Dallas. Well, I'm looking at Dallas. I'm kind of pushing for Dallas. At first, we were going to get there because we were doing rides into Mexico. But between the COVID and all the different rules that Mexico has added in, it's just not making it easy. It's not making it easy. And then there's a few stuff, too, because some of those states in Mexico are still going through back and forth. I mean, the metropolitan areas are beautiful, like Monterrey, St. Louis Potosi, Mexico City, of course. Guadalajara, but there are many other beautiful places in Mexico. So when you're in the metropolitan city of Mexico, I mean, it's beautiful. You want to ride, but typically I like to ride from state to state, from city to city, from sites to site, so I can see my own stuff. I don't want to pay for like the tourist thing to take me on a bus with a bunch of people on their time frame and do all that. I'd rather hop on my motorcycle and do it. And of course, if I met a little somebody over there, throw her on the back of the bike, enjoy some good company. And usually the women will give us a tour and stuff like that. But anyway, that's all just talk because Mexico is a no-go for this year. So we'll see how that goes for next year. We're still going to do Baja, Mexico. So that's the California Baja side. That's always good. Tijuana, Ensenada, Rosarito Beach, Mexicali, San Felipe, stuff like that. So that's an annual thing. When we hang out in California, we always do that. So that'll probably be August, September, or September, October, but that's about August, September, somewhere around that time frame. That's when we really hit California really hard. It's at its warmest, so we can hang out all the way from San Francisco all the way down to LA and San Diego, and then cross the border and stuff like that. But anyway, that's not what this podcast is about. That's a whole different topic. Was talking about the storage units, but we kept the bikes in Las Vegas this year for the most part. Maryland and Las Vegas, but we have 5 bikes out in Las Vegas. So we had to go out there, check on them, make sure they were okay. It's actually been like a couple of months since I've been out there. So I had to make sure everything was fine. Had to get ready for that stuff, see what kind of like bike maintenance, see what was going on, what was needed, what was not. And then from there, get our ride season started. But I said, we looked at the map and we were going to look at the weather. It was 87, 90 degrees out there. So, hey, it was time to catch a flight and get out this cold weather and go enjoy ourselves. So late March, early April, I guess around Easter, I think it was Easter weekend. We went out there and had some fun. So we're just coming back from that now. So I know I don't look the part. I got the turtleneck and the hockey jersey on because we're back in Colorado and the weather has dropped again. It's cold. So I think we're expecting some more snow and stuff like that. So it is what it is. But it just means we're going to be fly out again to have some more fun. So again, but that's why I do one of the reasons I started the storing bikes in different locations. So we can do that all year riding experience. And once that got passed on to the group, the ARD ride group, and members and so forth, they got hooked on it. And from that point, we just can't get enough of it. So it just doesn't make any sense to leave your bike for 6 or 7 months, even more, depending on where you live at, frozen in your garage when you can have it in a nice warm place that you can fly in and just ride and keep that vibe going all year round. So that's the theory that we turned into a yearly practice. And that's basically what Another Ride Day is. So For the most part, all year riding all across the country, seeing what's good in your backyard, and everywhere else. So just don't want to ride local. We ride everywhere and have fun. So it's not just about riding cross country. We do some of that, but it's also about flying in to some of the hot spots and having your bike, which is our bikes, already there on location and taking off and doing that type of stuff. So we have some phenomenal weekend getaways, weekend, weekday, weekend, 3-day weekends, Saturday to Monday to Tuesday to Wednesday, sometimes all week. Just depends on the events. And it also helps us to get some of the members that are spread out throughout the U.S. So anytime they want to do a ride or we want to get together or have some type of event, something like that, we can just basically fly into the nearest location, meet up with everybody, and do what we do, which is ride more than anything else. So, but it's just fun. So nothing against the cross country riding. Like I said, I do it all the time. Usually when I buy a new bike, I buy it out of my dealer, which is out of Maryland. I have a couple of I wouldn't say connections, but good relationships because we done bought, bought a lot of bikes out of some of these dealerships. And also when I was in a club, a lot of relationships form with former dealers. So we get phone calls all the time when they have specials and deals and stuff like that. So we can either add to the family, add to the inventory and stuff like that. So we pass that on to everybody as well. So anyway, so let's do this. I got some video here. I'm going to start playing from the let me set it up and stuff like that. So I'll do a 10-second intro, outro, and then we'll jump back and we'll pick right back up with the video right from Vegas, and we'll comment, talk a little bit, and then I'll talk about basically, I think this really needs to be about my son. I mean, at age 16, with about maybe 8 to 9 months worth of riding experience, and he did the whole rode his Z650 from Las Vegas all the way up through Utah, across the Colorado Rockies, which is amazing, all the way into Denver. So I mean, I can't say nothing. And we didn't baby that ride at all, because I don't know if you guys know, but that whole stretch, the speed limit is 75 and 80 miles an hour minimum. That's just the speed going through all that stuff. So he did it. We tried to cruise around. We tried to stay below 90, right around 90, so we can conserve the gas a little bit. But we'll get into that detail. So let me set up the video. I'm gonna play from Vegas, comment a little bit back and forth, and let y'all know what's going on. So hold on 1 second, and let's get y'all with
You're now listening to A-Rock Music.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm starving. It's been a long day, so let's go from here, and let me see. Yeah, that's a little time lapse my son put together. I'm in the garage getting things set up with the bikes in there. Had a little bit of fun. I should use that time lapse a little bit more though, but yeah, he set it up right from the phone, so that's cool. So yeah, that's him taking out some of the bikes out of the units and stuff like that. But let me get right to the video we had, and we'll go from there. We can comment and have some conversation about that. Okay. It says it's recording, so I'm gonna assume it's official. What's up, party people? We are finally touched down in Las Vegas. I meant to do the airport footage, but I may add that in later, so we'll see how that goes. We're at the storage unit at the garage. All the bikes are here looking good. Everything's still looking as we left it.
As we left it.
Yeah. So there go the bikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the bikes are all looking good. I'll give you the whole thing of the storage unit. This is not bad. Oh man, we got the shelves up and everything else. Got all that luggage and stuff set up. All the racks. So everything we'll think we need. Stuff bins. Neat. Little carpet down and everything else. So this is a what's it, 12 or 15 by 25, something like that. But it's sideways. I didn't want one that was deep because I wanted to line up the bikes a certain way, as you can see. So it looks good. So I'm going to set this up. We're going to take the bikes out. Oh man, I'm tired. Should have got something to eat. We're going to take all the bikes out. Go through the basic maintenance and stuff like that. Make sure they start up. Make sure everything is good. Run that through. Just see what needs to be done on the bikes. Get them all taken care of. And 2 of these bikes we're going to actually ride back. So the whole purpose of this trip is we're actually going to take 2 of the bikes and we're going to ride all the way back to Denver, Colorado. So we haven't decided which bikes we're taking back yet.
Yeah, we got a lot to pick from.
What'd you say? We got a lot to pick from.
We got a lot to pick from.
Say what's up to the people.
We're making some real life decisions out here, you know.
Can you see yourself?
Yeah. How y'all doing? Vegas part 2.
Oh yeah, Vegas part 2 for him. So yeah, so guess my soldier, my number 1 over there. So yeah, I don't know. We'll probably take either the Kawasaki or I may let him take the 1200X. He's done pretty good. He got some size on it. We're gonna see. We gotta do some practice riding and stuff. It's been a while since we've been on a bike. Winter's been pretty harsh for Colorado. Actually, it snowed like last week, so it was still snow-capped mountains and stuff like that when we went past it. So let's make sure we get our basics, our fundamentals together and get the stuff together and get it all together. So crank them up. I know air pressure. Hey, watch out. That's on the thing. You're stepping on it. Both of them are on the whatever, so they're straight. So the bikes are lifted off the ground. So they're really not too much tire pressure issue we got going on here. We got wheel locks and they're elevated. But we'll still do all the checks and make sure everything is straight and all that stuff. And over here, I opted to get a parking spot and left a trailer out here as well. So I think a couple of friends wanted to ask me about what happened to the trailer. There that still is. That's the Iron Horse trailer. It's the fiberglass trailer. Super light, aerodynamic. It has like size enough for 2 full-size Harleys in there, so I really have no problem with it. Real small. Looking good. So I'm gonna check that out too. We got a few things in there. So again, this is mainly the setup. Oh, there she go. Oh, is it crooked? There she go. So, oh man, you see I'm crazy. Still got the do-rag on. Oh man, so we got some maintenance work to do. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna let the video play a little bit so y'all can see what we're doing, what we're getting into. And we're kind of gonna go from there. So if I can find a place to set this camera up, we can see. Let's see if I can set it up. That's a little dark. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I mean, at different places, well, first let me talk about the bikes because I know my friend wanted me to talk about that. When we store the bikes, and we took advice from a couple of different people, and we also learned some lessons because we've been doing this for a while now. We usually have the bikes off the ground. We do that either with a wheel lock. Some bikes have a center stand, so it's just, of course, you just jack it up in the middle. Other bikes, we just use the bike lift and lift them off the ground and stuff like that. It just, you know, you don't have those flat spots on your tire and things like that you have to deal with. You still always want to check tire pressure and stuff like that. There's always time, but that definitely made a big difference in some of the bikes, making them ready to go once you get there. So once we get there on site, we really don't have a lot of work to do. It just keeps the bike in almost perfect working order for the most part. And we don't worry about the you know how you do bike maintenance for the winter and stuff like that. Remember, we keep these bikes in warm weather climates, so it don't even go through all that. We don't have those type of issues for the most part. So those bikes are fine. That's one of the reasons why we keep them in the warm climates. The battery lasts longer. We don't have any issues with that because they sit there, and we're always.
Where's the key to that one?
frequently going to the bikes back and forth all the time. So
All right, so the VFR X is up and running. Now we're gonna do the Kawasaki.
so you know, the bikes are fine.
Suzuki can't read.
Now the trailer I was talking about, that was
It's called bloopers. We'll work it out.
the
The
trailer I had.
Kawasaki key for the Kawasaki. What's that? Z.
Yeah, I can't even tell the difference between some of the bike keys. They look so similar. Let me pause that for a second. Now, the trailer I was showing you is an Iron Horse trailer, and I looked up on this trailer. We were in Daytona Beach at Bike Week, and I saw the company. It's a family-owned business. They're out of, I want to say, West Virginia, if I'm correct. Oh, I hope I don't get it wrong. It's either Virginia or West Virginia. Iron Horse trailers. You can look them up on the website, and they made these custom fiberglass trailers. Let me switch this out for a second. I'm sorry. They made these custom fiberglass trailers, and I mean, they were beautiful. I mean, it looked like almost like an eggshell, very short. It was even shorter because I think I had a Expedition at that time, Ford Expedition. So if it sat lower than the Expedition, it was kind of oval egg shape, and it cracked in half and just like popped up. And they were towing it with Mini Coopers. Yeah, they were. I'm sorry, hitting on the mic. They were actually driving around with Mini Coopers with these trailers, and I had a chance to get into it. I met the owner. He was outstanding. Like I said, it's a family business. They do it themselves, so it's not a mass produced company. But had a chance to get into it. They showed me all the different options and everything else and all of that, and it was just a beautiful trailer. And it was so light. I mean, it was fiberglass, so I think the whole trailer itself weighs less. Doesn't even weigh 1,000 pounds. I want to say 800 or 900 pounds. So you can literally lift the trailer up, move it around and stuff like that. So it was outstanding. So it was one of those things. Then they hit me with the price tag, which was about $10,000, which was expensive, you know, for a trailer, but an enclosed trailer, fiberglass, what it had to offer. About several months later, I looked up, I saw a few of them that were for sale used. So I called and I jumped right on it. So I got mine's is a double wide, or extra wide, really, not double wide, but extra wide. It fits. It's made to fit two full size Harley Davidsons, which they were sizing from. So I have no problem getting two bikes in there. I usually do a cruiser and a sport to balance it out. One of the wheel locks is slightly back than the other, so the handlebars never hit and stuff like that. I got a full size spare tire on the inside. Some storage place where I can keep stuff like that at. I mean, it's just a phenomenal trailer. I definitely tell you guys to go check it out. You know, I'm definitely looking for another one, but they're so expensive. They don't lose their value at all. So I think I have a 2009, 2010 Sturgis edition, and I've been rolling with that. I know I've put ridiculous amounts of miles on that trailer, but yeah. So in this case, I left the trailer out in Las Vegas because what I found is that sometimes we would fly into Vegas and then grab a truck, and I could just throw the bikes on there and then drive the night to wherever we're going. That's if you know, I want both bikes there and we're doing a larger event or have multiple different things going on and stuff like that. So that's when I usually do that. When I'm just being cheap or just meeting up with some people, it's just hop on the bike and go. So as you can see in the storage unit, we have luggage and everything in there. I got my collection of Saddlemans and stuff like that and kind of go from there. But yeah, so that's why I left the trailer there. I figured if I was going to pay storage to keep it in Maryland or Denver, or if Maryland isn't my property, but if I came in Denver, I had to pay for a storage unit. I might as well keep it there and I'll get more use out of it. Again, it's easier for me to fly out, get on location and get stuff and pull than it is for me to, you know, start from Denver and then ride to a place, or start from Maryland and ride from a place that usually I'm losing like 12 to 16 plus hours, even longer, depending on where I'm going. So that's what that is. So let me get this video playing again. Let me see. Yeah, so the garage, it is a 12 by 25. So it's not bad. There's plenty of room for the bikes to go in there. You know, from the edge of the wall to coming over. The outside is 12, but I think it comes out to be 10, but it's a 10 by 25,
All right,
12 by 25.
up and running, no problem. What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's gonna have to build up. It's the way her engine is. So yeah, I was just making sure. pull up a little bit. Okay. She's up and running with no problem. 2 for 2. What's wrong? Oh, you had that nervous look. When you look nervous, it make me nervous. That's why I gotta see what's going on. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, this was real exciting for my son though, being that it was a
Oh, let's see. Let me sit this back over here.
going to be his first major trip. And they go to Bluebird, the Suzuki 1000. Yeah, so I was really excited for him. It was an exciting trip for him, but I was just kind of excited, kind of exciting and nervous at the same time, seeing if he's
This
ready to do
storage
that
unit
trip.
garage is actually complete. We got everything in here. We got wheel locks, lift kits, tow stuff. I mean, not tow. What is that thing called? Oh, floor jacks, all types of stuff. So it's complete. So it's everything you need to repair or work on the trailer, and also bikes. And I already showed y'all all of the. We put the racks up. Got them out of Walmart. We got the big ones. Spent a little bit more money, but they gave us all the room and space to put all the different luggage. So I pretty much got almost everything from. Most of our luggage is Saddlemen luggage. I really like them. There's a couple of unique pieces that just stand out on their own. I don't have any Kuriokin. No, we have one Kuriokin, but I think that overpaid for that. I mean, I don't think that was as original as it looked. We don't use it as much. But we got a lot of different pieces. So basically, depending on where we're traveling, what we're doing, what type of situation, we got pretty much luggage stuff for almost anything. All right, the Suzuki started up with no problem. Yeah. That's 3 for 3. They go to Bluebird. So just a little dirty. That's about it, right? Yeah. Gas or the Kawasaki and it's just E or it's slash? No, it's okay. Where, mine? Your gas yeah, my gas can came out. Oh, depending on how the bike tilts side to side, it's gonna do all that. Is there a battery in the 1200X? Yeah.
I'm sorry, sneaking another bite. Like I said, I've been eating anything all day. So yeah, just wanted to give y'all a good look. This is one of the smaller units, but as you can see, just give you an idea of what I set up and stuff like that. We take advantage. Wherever the unit, we have different sizes, so different setups, of course. But it was fun. I mean, it worked out fine. So I mean, everything is perfect, and we've been doing this for several years now. So of course, we choose reputable companies and stuff like that where the security is utmost. But I'll go into some of that stuff in detail in another talk for those who are interested in that, or if we even decide to go into that topic. But yeah, the bikes were fine, like I said, in perfect condition. We also keep the bikes covered as well, so you know, you get a lot of dust and stuff if you leave it in places like that. Depending on this unit has a lot of dust, but yeah, the bikes were covered, so everything was fine. There was no issues with that. And like I said, started right back up. Started up instantly, no issues with the battery, anything so forth. Didn't have to do any winterization and stuff like that. I mean, the most we've left these bikes alone without touching them, maybe we've gone 2.5 months at the longest. But other than that, usually pretty much on a monthly basis, one of us is always in the garage, either switching out bikes or taking that or using it for whatever event and things like that. So it is what it is. It's definitely no problem. It's pretty easy. Now, we was talking about the luggage. I use a lot of different. I went through a lot of different luggage companies and stuff like that, and all our members have different preferences and stuff like that. But I just don't like hard luggage. I prefer more of the soft bags. So I kind of gravitated. I found a company called Saddleman, and I've been very happy with them. And they give me a nice array of pieces. So I think we're not going to do it in this episode. But I think we're going to do a piece just on luggage if that's what you want. I had a few people that wanted to know, but if more of you guys want to know about the different luggage setups that we have, I'll give you an idea. But we have found some phenomenal ways to store the bike on fashionable luggage things that goes with the bike, with the flow. It looks good on the bike. It doesn't look like we don't use those bungee with some net straps or any of that type of stuff like that. I mean, some of this luggage fits on it so perfectly, you thought it was actually made for the bike, perfect, made for each individual bike. But when you have such, array of different bags and things like that, you get to pick and choose your choices and what you need and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's been something that, every time there's a good deal, we just kind of collect and kind of go from there. So as you can see, all the bikes and everything is out there. Everything is looking good. Now we didn't come to find out that the Valkyrie and the 1200 Sport actually needed a battery. It was already going dead. That was on my fault. I was supposed to switch that out, and I was going to bring batteries, but then I remembered you can't store batteries on airplanes no more. They banned that stuff. So, I mean, I thought when it went into the bottom, I know you couldn't took it on top, but in the bottom, we would bring batteries and stuff. But I think apparently some batteries must have blew up or popped or something. Not with us, but we heard something like that.
Oh, where the helmet at?
So a friend was telling me about that. And now they have no batteries as part of the list of things you can't do. So we'll just be buying batteries probably in a couple of weeks when I go back. I'm going to stop at one of the dealers and buy some batteries from one of the shops in Las Vegas and get that taken care of. So that's the only reason that we did the 1800 Valkyrie and the 1200 Sport didn't get pulled out the garage and kind of went from there. So we had to get that taken care of.
The helmets. We put all of them over there?
I know at least 2 of them right here. I know 2 of them have to be in this bag. That's like the one purpose we were talking about for that bag. There we go.
These are some of the custom helmet collections I got from Ls2. I think I saw them on the other video. I had them lined up against the wall.
Now I love Ls2 helmets. I'm going to say that right out now. I mean, I love them. I wanted to do a deal with the company or something like that. Let me switch this up. Hold on. I wanted to do a deal with the company. I don't know what's up with them. Kind of hard to reach. I think they're a European company, but they have a U.S. branch and stuff like that. So they're called Ls2 Helmets, and they make some of the flyest custom helmets to me. I mean, just beautiful helmets, already pre-made in different finishes, matte colored finishes, gloss finishes, stuff like that. But as you can see, let me switch it over.
Ls2. This is from the what collection was it? I forgot the name of this style. Breaker.
Yeah, so these helmets
So
are
all these are they got the drop down visors automatic built into it. It's real nice. They got the extra brace on the side, so it has a different type of chin strap that's a little more secure. And no, I love these helmets to death. So this is from the Breaker Ls2 collection.
yeah, so they're about 3 different collection series that I've gotten from them. They have given me deals on it, so I'm pretty happy about that. I do appreciate that. But one is the Streamline, one is Breaker, one is Sentinel or Sentinel or something like that. But I mean, I love the helmets. But what drew me to the helmet was how lightweight it is. It's probably one of the lightest helmets. I know it's not the lightest, but I mean, it has to rank top 3 as far as how lightweight the helmet is. So I feel no weight on my shoulder, my neck, none of that stuff. It's very light. In addition to all the beautiful designs that that's the Omega series. That's the one he's showing right there. In addition to being light, it has the airflow of these helmets is outstanding. I mean, every helmet brags about airflow and stuff like that, but I can tell you now, I've had those helmets in 100+ degree weather, riding in Arizona, riding in Las Vegas. There were parts of Mexico that was like it was 100+, and I promise you, there was not a single drop of sweat that went down my face in these helmets. They are perfectly, the airflow of the helmets are outstanding. All their helmets is just perfect for weather. So those were the main two reasons that drew me to the company: how lightweight it was, the brag on airflow, and when I had a chance to sample it, I think a friend of mine, we rode up to what was that place? Revzilla. We rode up to Revzilla up in Philadelphia, where we actually got to try on all the different helmets they had in their stores and locations. That's probably where I first tested one in for the first time. And then I had to make sure, because sometimes the European fit doesn't fit the US head, or at least my big forehead paws, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, once I had a taste of once I felt how light it was, and then I sampled it out with the airflow, I've been hooked ever since. So I think I probably have about 3, 4, 5. I think I have 12 Ls2 helmets right now. The others are G Max, and they're okay too. But once I got the Ls2, I couldn't get enough of those. So I mean, I would love to feature some of that stuff here. So if Ls2, if you listen, then we really need to talk, because I mean, I think I push your helmets more than even your company does. So, but they make all types of helmets, from race to general to all types of stuff, and the designs are phenomenal. So it's the whole nine for me. So yeah, as you see, we keep some of the helmets on site as well. So sometimes you'll see us on flights with the helmets, and then sometimes we'll have them in the storage unit and just kind of go from there, just to have a variety. But I tell you, you want to get some attention? Let me pause this for a second. You want to get some attention? Show up at an airport with your motorcycle helmet. I usually have it halfway on my head or something like that, or everything else. You can't take every 3 steps. Everyone is talking, asking what's going on, what bike you're riding here and there, all types of stuff. I mean, we did it by accident because we were just trying to get the locations, and we wanted certain specific helmets, so we grabbed that one. But I mean, it was almost celebrity status. It was ridiculous. Anyone who rides a bike wants to run up to you and talk and have a conversation. The women are curious. The flight attendants are curious. All types of stuff. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I think we might have been the first people to ever show up at the airport with helmets on, going to our locations. And again, that came from, having bikes stored in different parts of the countries. But it's definitely a lot of fun. It kind of goes from there. And then we get the crazy questions, is the bike on the plane, or did you have it stored, or how you having it shipped and stuff like that. So it just brings a lot of attention and a lot of stuff like that. They want to know what's going on. And that's a good thing as far as I'm concerned. So that just kind of adds to the lifestyle and adds to meeting different people and stuff like that. We've even met some flight attendants that were like, how long are you going to be here? And then they end up riding with us that weekend and stuff like that as well. So who knew? So, but the helmet at the airport is a win, in case y'all don't know that. So let me, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to continue to play the video. We'll go through that, and then we'll get into the details about the ride itself from Denver to Colorado with my son, 16-year-old, 1 year riding. Rode his Kawasaki Z650, 90 miles an hour on average, straight across Nevada, Utah, Colorado Rockies, all that stuff. So we'll get into all that in a second. So let me just hit with a quick break, and we'll be right back.
You're now listening to A-Rock Music.
Okay. So we're back, and let's see. We're gonna play a little bit more of the live footage that we got. This is the video for us in the Las Vegas storage garage. Again, had to check in on the bikes, break them out, test them out, a little bit of bike maintenance, and then we were gonna have some fun with our fly-in ride weekend getaway. And then we made a decision that, hey, let's ride 2 of these bikes back to Denver. We checked the weather, and it was a nice little stretch of warm weather. It was 87, 90 degrees in Vegas, but we looked up at the Colorado Rockies and it said it was going to get up to 66 or 67 degrees. And we were like, hey, that's pretty warm, especially for late March, April. You know, snowstorm just happened a couple of weeks ago. So I said, we looked through it and say, hey, we're going to make that happen. So I flew over. I had my son with me, 16-year-old. You're going to see him in the video. And he wanted to make the ride. So we made it happen. So let me play the video and then we'll get more into that.
Hey, put on the helmet and see if you remember how to ride on. Grab this one.
Now, as far as the cost, I didn't talk about the cost of the helmets. These are Ls2 helmets. I have about 12 in my collection. I have a few more on the way. I love the helmet. Again, super lightweight. Airflow is beautiful. I'm riding Arizona, riding Nevada, 100+ degree weather, no sweat coming down whatsoever. Airflow is beautiful. It has enough space in there. It's just a beautiful lightweight helmet that I definitely love. And the designs and stuff that it comes in is phenomenal. So it stands out to me. Now, it price ranges. They go anywhere between you can find them as cheap as maybe 150, 160 if it's on sale. But for the most part, they hover around 220. And then, of course, the race edition ones, which are a little more advanced, a little more carbon fiber, a little more dynamic and stuff, aerodynamic and things like that. They go up to $400 and $600 like the other helmet. So this helmet is right there in line with all the other ones. Shoshone and Icon and Icon make helmets. I know Shoshone and a couple of other ones, but it's right there in line with them. So it has the whole, competition series and things like that. But yeah, I talked with the company a little bit and I've been getting some deals on the helmets. I want to be sponsored, but I've been getting a few deals. So like I said, I have about 12 now. We got a few more on the way and I just love these helmets to death. I'm just going to stay with them. So Ls2 helmets, check it out. If you get a chance to get it, put it on. Hey, maybe it's, I don't know. I can't get enough of them. So just definitely wanted to bring that to your attention. Let's see. So again, you see the Valkyrie still in there, and behind that is the 1200 Sport. And we're going to leave that in location. And let me see. Yeah, probably out riding around the other bikes. Yeah, I wanted my son to test ride some of the bikes, trying to figure out which bike he wanted to take that ride on. He learned on the Z650, and then after maybe about 6 months, I let him ride the 1200X a little bit. He kind of got used to that.
Yeah, we went away. I had to take the bikes around, make sure how they feel. Air pressure looked good. We still got to test it out though, so we got to find the air pressure gauge.
Yeah, so that's some of that excitement. It's always like that in the beginning of the season. So like I said, this is the end of March, early April. And yeah, 90 degrees in Vegas, getting excited. So definitely was feeling it a little bit. Just happy everything was happy with the storage unit and things like that. So we probably got a couple of trips going to, I got to look at the calendar. I don't know. We got to see because COVID has made little things funny because I know Texas shut down for a little bit and then came back up. And then California went through something a little bit. So we're going to have to play this by ear.
Oh, man.
We're going to play this by ear as far as some of the places with the COVID going back and forth. But I think now that the vaccine's out and everyone's taking shots, they've kind of eased off on some of the restrictions. Most of the restrictions had to do with flights. I know a lot of the friends that go overseas on their trips, they were telling me the ins and outs back and forth of all the stuff they had to do to fly, like DR, Colombia, Brazil, a couple of places like that. I don't know anyone who went to Thailand this year so far, or Europe. I talked to a few people over there overseas from Europe, but they live there, so that's a little different. So I don't know that. But in the States, I really had no problem. I rode across country a couple of times because I had to relocate a few things, going from the East Coast all the way across, and I didn't run into any problems. I was just going through for the most part, but COVID didn't do anything like that. But I mean, I know Maryland had like a lockdown state for a little while. Texas had some lockdown. California did something as well. So it's just something we're gonna have to find out and work our way through as we deal with this COVID. But I mean, I'm like all the other riders, man. We're so itching to ride and get out. It didn't make any sense. So and then riding opens up a lot of stuff. So we're riding more to different destinations and seeing different stuff, since most of the cities are either shut down or on slow pace, or you know how it is. Even the restaurants are open, but I don't know about you guys, but I don't like waiting an hour just for some simple food and stuff like that. It's getting a little bit too much for me. But so I'm looking forward to some of the ride and the getaway, checking out some amazing roads and things like that. So
All right. Well, so far we have the Kawasaki Z650, the special edition white and green. She's good to go. Engine's purring, sounding real good. We're still going to go through all the pressure as far as the oil, fluids, tire pressure, stuff like that. But she's purring. The Suzuki started up with no problem. No issues there. She's willing to go. I'm gonna take her around for a spin in just a second to see how she feels. Pull her around. And then my son right now. You got a neutral? Yeah, I don't want to. Okay. Shut it down. All right, how'd she feel?
She felt good. I don't think it would take me a while to get used to, because it feels like
Is it soft with her?
yeah, but it the release point is like the cruiser,
Okay.
but it picks up like so it feels weird.
So it has kind of like a dirt bike feel initially, but in no time it kicks in after that. So basically, once you get past, I don't know, once you get out of the first gear and stuff like that, then it's all sport bike. So it's a unique bike. I mean, I always had my eye on it. It's a special edition one, so I had to grab it. You think you want to ride this one, bud? Or hop on your other one?
Because I feel more familiar with it.
Okay.
Like getting right back on it, there was no disconnect with my brain and what I had to do with it.
Okay.
And where we're riding and the route we're going, I'd rather be more comfortable and more mentally stable with that one.
Say no more. Say no more.
Kind of have learned and whatever with this one.
Okay. So we're probably gonna do the yeah. So I'll probably ride the 1200X, and you'll do the 650. So we'll leave the Fat Ball Jigsaw, the Suzuki.
now I was really impressed.
And then the Valkyrie and the other stuff we gotta look.
I don't know. I mean, I asked him to see what he would say. 16 excited. Usually, no matter what, they always want to go for the faster bike or the more advanced bike or so forth like that. But for him to actually choose his Z650s, that's the one he learned on. And you heard him. It was more comfortable. There was no disconnect in what was needed to be done. So I wasn't going to argue with him there. I was going to push him that way anyway. But for the most part, I just wanted to see if he would bite on taking the other bike or not, or what he felt. But no, he definitely sounded like a biker making biker choices. Motorcycle rider making smart motorcycle ride choices. So that felt good.
I don't want to get into the batteries this time. I think I'll do it next time when we'll come around and do all that. So I'll leave those two bikes there. But I do need to maneuver and set it around because I got Jeff, my friend. He's coming up with his bike in April. I want to make sure he gets to use the garage too. Part of another ride day, ARD ride group. So he's definitely a member. So he gets all the benefits and the perks as well. Yeah, but remember that bike is big. He got the Rocket 3. Yeah. Right. So that's a big sucker. So I got to make sure he can pull it up and he has some space in it. So we may we'll move this to the middle. We'll slide this over so he can come in and pop that Rocket 300 right there in the middle with no problem. And we'll go from there. Okay. So we'll make sure he's straight. So we'll do all of that. So everything is looking good. Kind of good. So it's official. We will be riding back the I'm riding the 1200X. That's the adventure. I'm gonna ride that back. And my son's gonna stay with the Kawasaki 650. And we're gonna have some fun in Vegas first though. And then we'll ride that back across the country. And then we'll come out here for the next segment. I'll probably be out here in a couple of weeks. for another ride. What I call it, fly, ride, and then fly back home, weekend getaway. So the fly, ride, weekend getaway. We're gonna do that. I'll probably come back with the Suzuki. No, actually, I think I'm gonna come back with the Valkyrie. When I come back in about a week or two, I think I'm gonna bring that Valkyrie back because I want it in Denver to get ready for the Sturgis Denver group when they come in. They're coming in around July, so they're more heavy bikes. They got the Indian cruisers, so I'm gonna hit them with the 1800 Valkyrie. So we'll do that. We'll all be in the same lineup. I don't want to, depending on the type of rides and groups. Sometimes we mix the sport and cruises together, but sometimes we like to keep it together. But they all got the muscle cruisers. All their bikes are 1800 cc's and up. So I'm gonna bring out my Valkyrie 1800 as well, so I can have some fun with it. So that's the plan. Getting excited. So we can go from there. Did you do the time lapse thing?
Yeah. I got
Okay. 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, so that should be pretty good. All right. So I don't know what else to say. I could talk about luggage and gear and whatever and all that stuff. I'm gonna save it for the next time, the next weekend getaway, and then I'll go over some of the detailed stuff I have. That's if y'all have questions about that, because I know people had a lot of questions about luggage and stuff like that. But we'll see. And we got camping gear out here too, right? For the stuff. I forgot to bring the paddles for the we didn't put a stand-up paddle board. It's small though. I can throw that in for the next one. So that's cool. I see we got the basketball shoes too. We got your pair?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, we threw some other stuff in there,
You don't have to
anticipating a few extra
basketball
events that we have.
at the hotel.
So, and you can see definitely excitement. Yeah, little speakers, everything else. We got the light set up in there. We got a little mini generator as well. It's all electric though, so you can plug it up in case you had to do some night work or something in there.
Hey, so are we going from Vegas to Utah? Or are we going straight north? Or we going east?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think we're gonna we were gonna head down to Phoenix and then cut across from there, Flagstaff, Grand Canyon. We weren't gonna go to Phoenix, going to Arizona, hit Flagstaff. We'll wait till next time. I was gonna hit Laughlin, Lake Mojave. Then we would go down to like Flagstaff, Grand Canyon. Then we're gonna cut over to Albuquerque and Santa Fe, New Mexico, and then head back up. But that's about maybe 1,000. I say 1,100 miles. Yeah, I think we haven't been on a bike in a while. We're gonna take our time getting used to it. We got to get back into the groove. So I think we're gonna go straight across. When we came across the mountains, the temperature warmed up, and we checked the weather again for the different cities. So I think we're gonna go straight up to St. George, Utah, over there where Mount Zion and stuff like that is at. We may stop in there, may not. It depends on how much of a detour that is. And then we're gonna head straight up to Salina, Utah, like going to Salt Lake City, but we're not going to go that far. We're going to bang a right and then cut across going to like Moab, Grand Junction, and then we're going to Glenwood Springs, Colorado. Then we'll pretty much stop there because I know I got to see what the weather is like because it gets pretty cold when you really get to a mountain and you're going to hit Vail. Oh, hold on. I'm yelling. Take that away. I'm sorry, all that yelling music. I'm sorry. Before we go over to Vail and stuff like that, we got to check the weather. I know it's not snowing, but last time I checked, it was supposed to be at least about 64, 65 degrees. It's going to get up to 90 here in Vegas today. So, I mean, right now I feel about 74, 75. It's still getting warmer, so that feels real good. I'm loving that. But I think we're going to do that way. It's really only about 11 hours, 10 hours, but we're going to break it up and have some fun, stop at some different places. I'm going to give him the chance to really test his bike out on some twisty roads and stuff like that. And we'll go from there. So I may do some footage, I may not, I don't know. I didn't really bring all the heavy camera equipment. I have it all set up for something else. You can cut that one off. I have all that stuff set up for some other events and stuff we got going on. So I got stuff in different places and I got to coordinate that together. So that's my dummies. But yeah, I think we're gonna go across the Colorado Mountains. So up to Utah and then cut across Moab. We probably spend a night somewhere around there. Grand Junction, Moab, Salina, if we get too tired. We're going to see how that feels. And then we'll cross the Colorado Rockies and then get into Denver. So we're going to go that way. So another city to city ride thing, stuff like that. And really, this is just really give my son a chance to really test his skills and kind of like or enhance his skills, build up his confidence even more with the motorcycle riding and stuff like that. So from Denver, Utah, Colorado, we're about to make it happen. Welcome to another ride day.
You're now listening to A-Rock
Okay, so went over a lot of details. That was basically arriving in Las Vegas, going to the garage, setting the stuff up, checking on the bikes, pulling them out, getting them started, doing a little bit of bike maintenance. Later, we did all the basics from air pressure checks, even though the bikes are lifted off the ground, so it's not too much issue, but you still want to check all that. We did the fluids, fuel, just to make sure all around everything was rolling. 3 of the bikes were fine. 2 bikes still need batteries, but they needed batteries before, so that was on my mistake. That wasn't had anything to do with the storage. You see the Valkyrie right there. We're about to push that out. Let me see. Yeah, get that heavy sucker out of there and go from there. So all that stuff was taken care of. And again, it was a fly-in ride getaway weekend. Because it was about 87, 90 degrees in Las Vegas. So definitely had to get some warm weather. Get away from the cold weather, shall I say. I think it was raining like crazy on the East Coast, and then it was snowing in Denver. And it just got bad, and I just felt that itch, and I really needed to ride. And this is the reason why we store bikes across country, so we can get that all year riding experience. So as soon as the weather broke, yeah, we went out there to have some fun. But then when we were out there, we kind of wanted to bring some of the bikes. We felt that itch to do a longer ride, so I decided to bring 2 of the bikes back to Denver. And my son, it was his first year riding, and he did very well the first 6 to 9 months. We done a lot of trips and stuff like that. They were pretty positive. And, he really took the riding real well. The training stuck in, and he definitely was doing all the techniques that we taught and we pushed over and over again. So we did a few trips into Wyoming and a few other ones. But, he basically got comfortable riding with like a couple of hours at a time. And just really wanted him to master that bike. We even did some off-road riding and stuff like that. Well, so just to get him into that, so he fell in love with his bike like any kid would, but he really learned it and got a feel for it. And then here comes the winter. We've been away from the bike for a while and came back on there. So my whole goal was to get him warmed up and see if he retained all the information learned on the bike. And if so, if he showed me, then I was going to see if he wanted to make that ride across. He was definitely pushing it, but I had to have him show me what he can do first. And he had it. He didn't get greedy. I gave him a choice to take in a different bike, but he wanted to go with the one he was most comfortable with. That shows a little level of maturity right there. A motorcycle making motorcycle smart decisions. So that impressed me a little bit. We rode around the area a little bit just to get the feel of the bikes and stuff like that. But the weather got so good, we was like, oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and do Vegas. Anytime we come to Vegas, we don't want to leave right away. So we ended up staying in Vegas and had some fun. And did that. And that even gave me more time to test him out on the highways, the high-speed highways and stuff like that, running through the cities to make sure he had full control and maneuverability of the bikes and stuff like that. And he passed with flying colors. So there was no reason for me to not take him across country. He did everything. It all came back to him. I didn't have to go over step by step. I saw him making smart decisions. So from that point, yeah, he's an official rider as far as I'm concerned. So this would only, like I said, not improve, but enhance his riding experience, and let him know basically what ride life is really like, what it can be like, beyond just the local scene or the bike night or the parades and stuff like that. But taking that bike from city to city, going to different locations and sites. So some of the amazing stuff. So. We definitely do that. Now, I did want to touch on, let me see, we did talk about the route. So let me see if I can do this. I'm going to pause this. Let's go here. And again, I'm in the Denver garage. There you go. 3 of the bikes right there. Let me see. I wanted to show y'all. I'm going to see if I can do the map. So I'm going to see if I can add the map here. Good. And I'm going to go full screen with it. So that way I can show you guys, and then we can go from there. So let me see. Um, we checked in at the Venetian Hotel in Las Vegas. That's where the reservations were, and I had a little bit of fun there. Venetian's always, um, look and style and so forth and stuff like that. Didn't want to get into all that. That's the Venetian. So let me see. Let me start back. So here we are in Las Vegas. Is it going to come up? There we go. Now actually we checked in at the Venetian, but I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but Vegas is wide open with weed right now. So I mean, it's a full recreational weed. I think it has one of the largest weed dispensaries in the area and stuff like that. So coming from Denver, Colorado, they already had recreational weed, so I kind of got used to it. It was just what it is. But when we went to Vegas, I mean, my God, it wasn't even the same Vegas. I mean, everyone was walking around smoking weed like it was nothing. So the weed setup in Vegas is a little different from Colorado. In Colorado is you buy your weed and smoke it at your house or whatever here and there. But in Las Vegas, I mean, every other person was smoking weed. So if you were the Cheech and Chong weed head, you need to get to Vegas because they're just everywhere. I mean, from 8 in the morning to all hours of the night, everyone is puffing, and it's just ridiculous. It was so strong and so bad that we had to check out of the Venetian, but I couldn't even, between the contact and my eyes and all that stuff, within like 2 hours of checking in, I had to go to the front desk and check the hell out. I was like, this is crazy. It literally smelled like they were growing weed out of my hotel room. It was really that bad. So I checked the hell out of Venetian, and we actually ended up going to what was the other hotel we went to? Oh, Residence Inn. We checked into the Residence Inn outside the no, not Green Valley. We weren't that far. I think it was Venetian's there, Platinum Hotel, Residence Inn. Yeah, so we checked in at the Residence Inn there, and just it was better anyway because they had a full kitchen. It was more like a whole suite. The Residence Inn is more like a apartment. So we checked in there and just had some fun with that, and stayed there for the night, and then went to the spots in Vegas and stuff like that. So it's funny if you're on the right side of the strip, which is where Lynx, Flamingo, Eiffel Tower, Venetian, all that stuff there. That side of the street is nothing but weed. It's just almost like a cloud of smoke of everybody walking all the way down. Now, if you're on the other side of the street, that's Bellagio, Caesar, stuff like that. They had theirs in check. They were like, "No, you take that weed on the other side of the street, or you have to be away from the premises." So that's just a heads up for y'all coming to Vegas. So depending on which side you like, you can be on that side or that side. Enjoy it, get it how you like it. It's just what it is. But anyway, so from Vegas, the plan was to go from from Las Vegas. Directions would go. We originally were going to go down to Arizona, Flagstaff. Let me switch these things around. We were going to go there, and what I was going to do was that since we haven't been on a motorcycle in a while, and my son was new, I was going to do 4-hour segments. I didn't want to push him any more than 4 hours. With plenty of stops and stuff like that. So we were going to head down to Flagstaff and then probably check out the Grand Canyon because it was right up around the corner, the Grand Canyon Village. So at Flagstaff, so that's Vegas to Flagstaff, and then from there, as you can see, head over to Albuquerque, or really Santa Fe, and that added another 4+ miles. So that's crossing over there to Albuquerque. And then from there, we were going to try to go straight up to Denver, Colorado. So you can see that was the original plan there. And this route was going to stay warm because it's already 90 degrees here in Vegas. Same temperature here in Arizona, of course. I think it was like 80 something there. Albuquerque was pushing about 80, 82 was good. And then work our way up and go through there. But that's 1,000 miles, and as you can see, 15 hours. I was going to break it up in sections, 4, 8, 12, whatever it needed, whatever he needed. If he can push more, he can push more. Minimum of 4 hours per stretch. But that was going to be original route. But what happened was I checked the weather, and I started getting good reports. It was starting to have a nice little warm streak, which was weird because it was snowing. It dropped like, what we had that like 4 or 5 inches of snow. Really, it dropped about a week and a half ago. But you know, Arizona, it comes in hard and it goes fast. So we went there and we went to, let me see what I was going to do. So instead of cutting around, we were just going to go straight through. And now, as you can see, it says 10 hours. It could maybe a little less because I think you get an hour or you lose an hour or something going back in time and stuff like that. So I said, we might as well just cut straight across. And you see that's Moab there. But it wasn't, yeah. So that was going to be the plan. I think Moab just threw it over, but I think it's actually, let me switch this. Instead of saying Moab, it was going to be Grand Junction. Yeah, there we go. So it's about, as you see, it's 11 hours. But I'm not certain if it's really 11 hours or maybe more or less, because you kind of get an hour back or lose an hour or something like that when you cross over the time frame. So we were going to do that. So from Las Vegas, we were going straight up through St. George. That's where Mount Zion and stuff like that is at. Mount Zion National Park, which is another must-ride area that you definitely got to do, and push straight up and go there. So again, I was going to think about 4-hour segments. I was going to see how far he wanted to go. There was a place called Salinas. There we go. Salina, Salinas, Utah. So I was going to ride up there. Let me break it down. So that's about 4.5 hours. That was going to be the goal to see if we can get up there. Salina to Moab. This is like your whole adventure area. So anything dealing with dirt bikes, off-road, all that stuff. I mean, they love it out there. Every vehicle, every person. It's probably one of the most active areas I've ever seen when it comes to that, but it's always a fun area. So that was going to be the goal to ride there. And then from there, cut across. But this little bastard did good. I mean, not only did we get up to Salinas, he was feeling still pretty good, still well rested, still wanted to do more, and he was impressing me, especially going through like some of the canyons and stuff like that. This is not just a simple smooth ride. I mean, it looks like a straight line here for the most part, but I mean, this is desert, canyons. It gets a little twisty here, but you really start to get up in the mountains and the roads. And then let me see. Some of this stuff is really fun. I guess we have to show you guys. So it looks like a little something, but it really starts to get up in there. So I mean, it's not a lot of going uphill, downhill, cutting through the valleys. A little bit of fun, all high speed, because the speed limit is 80 miles an hour minimum. So no problem up to St. George. And then from there, this was more of a straight shot, just pushing it, not a problem. Where did we go? Getting too much here and there. Again, cutting through the mountain gorge. We got to Salinas, and then he still was feeling it. So I was like, we actually had a late start too, because I mean, we partied all Saturday in Vegas. So we got up Sunday, and then we left maybe around 11 o'clock. So we didn't do a super early start or nothing like that, 11 o'clock. So we got up here nice and warm, but he still was feeling it. And I was like, well, it's a little, from here, there's not a lot of towns or nothing like that. So I said, if we got to push it, we got to push it to the closest town here was Green River. That's where I found the hotel at. So I said, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it no matter what. So it felt nightfall a little bit. We did a little night riding. It wasn't too bad. Started getting cold a little bit, but for the most part, we coast. And this is just, this is beautiful country. I think this is not showing it here on the map, but what you're looking here is that these are cutting through the canyons. And when I say cut through the canyons, you look to the left, to the right, you're right there, right next to the canyons. These are some of the deepest gorges you're ever going to see, cutting across Utah, long sweeping highways. Again, minimum 80 miles an hour all the way through. And he pushed it. So as you can see, that turned out to be about 5.5, almost 6 hours. So he actually did it. We rode about almost 6 hours there and had some fun. And then we stayed at Green River and stayed the night. And then from that point, we pushed it all the way to Denver. So let me cut these two out. And you can see that's another 5 hours and 41 minutes. And that's going through here. That's going through all the Alps, the tunnels, just all the beautiful scenery. Everything that everyone ever brags about going across the country is basically all when you come in through here. Glen Mesa, so forth, Vail, Breckenridge, Silverthorne, all that stuff all the way to Denver. So, I mean, it was wonderful. And remember, all this was still fresh snow on all left and right side of you and everything else. So it basically, I think the only way I can describe it to y'all is like when you seen those pictures of those guys riding in Switzerland, all of that is right here. snow caps, mountains, everything on the left and right of you. You still see the ski resorts, but the roads are perfectly dry, and you're just whipping through some of the most greatest terrain, hills. I mean, it is beautiful. It is beautiful. Basically, when people ride across country, this is the part that matters. Everything else is flat. There's really nothing going on. But when you cut through the Colorado Rockies from between here and Denver, that's pretty much almost your most exciting trip, part of a cross-country trip for those who really do it. The people who skip it going down through South, it's just straight highway. There's nothing to see. Cows and stuff like that when you go across. It's just open land. And same thing. But when you cut across here through the middle, this is the motherland. This right here is pretty much, this is the best of the best when it comes to the U.S. with motorcycle riding, stuff like that. And he was able to do it. So let me close out of this. Let me see. Got to get back over here. And let's come out of that and close out of that. And yeah, so I mean, we took that route. So I just wanted to give y'all a map. I know talking and saying stuff is one way, but actually showing you is something else. So hopefully that helped y'all guys out. It saved some time. I think the trip was only about maybe 800 and something miles, I think. I have to look at it. A little more than 800, maybe 900. But it saved a couple of 100 miles. It gave him phenomenal scenery. He got to see some riding that people only dream of. And he actually got to do it from there. So let me get back to the video and see. Let's see. I think that was a time lapse. That was where we at here. Oh, that's the time lapse video they called it, going back and forth. Let's see. That's not what I want. Must be that on the stream. So let me change that a little bit.
They got time with it.
Yeah, let me get back into this. And I think we'll close it out. I know I've had you guys on for a while. It's a little weird watching the video, but just wanted to give y'all the idea of what it looked like. This is how our season started. Las Vegas trip. And let me see what closing comments and stuff I have, see what's going on. I think I have some more information here. And then after that, we're going to go in detail. So let me set this up real quick. 1 second.
You're now listening to A-Rod Music.
Yep, so we're about to close this out. Let me get some videos in here and we talk about the
so again, fluid, so forth, whatever, tire pressure. Go over the details, make sure everything is good. And then we're gonna enjoy Vegas in its heat a little bit. You know. And then from that point, that's it. So we'll probably get out of here later on today. But we're just gonna take our time with it.
And we didn't get on. We had so much fun in Vegas.
No hoover dam, no so forth, none of that stuff. We're not gonna do that on this trip. We're gonna save that for the next time, which probably is coming up in 2 weeks. So other than that, I think we're all good to go. So,
and we did end up staying the night in Vegas. So
darn, I ain't put up any banners. I haven't done any of the stuff in there. Look at this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, stay tuned.
Welcome to another ride day.
Yeah.
Huh?
Uh-huh.
You got to come up closer. They can't hear you from that one. So that looks good.
Hey,
and
stay tuned. We'll be in Utah.
What was the information for all you guys trying to find out what's going on? Wow, let me get rid of this one. All right, so scrolling across, you got all the information. Instagram, email, YouTube, which we'll uplink this when we get a chance. So I'm gonna let that scroll across so y'all can see that again if y'all want to get up with some information.
Yep.
So cool. So any questions, whatever, y'all get up with me. Y'all know how to get in contact with me. For the ARD Ride group members, y'all know what we do. So we're warming it back up. We're getting it ready. So y'all reach out to me, or we'll be posting out different things and stuff like that. We'll be reaching out to see what's going on with all types of stuff. Like I said, I already been in contact with one. He's coming up in the end of this April. He'll be coming out here to Vegas. That's gonna bring the Rocket 3. We're gonna park that out here. And I got to talk to the other ones to see what they got to do. They got so many trips going on. They got all types of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on in Maryland, Atlantic City, New Jersey, somewhere around there, doing a whole bunch of stuff. I don't think we're doing the Myrtle Beach. I know they canceled out Myrtle Beach this year because of 2020, but I think people still going to go down there. But I want to know if the cops are going to be there to see if I'm bothered with that. So I don't know about that. But anyway, that's another podcast. That's another talk. Other than that, that's it. So till next time. Any words from you?
Hey, just tune in. We'll be in Utah in a couple hours.
He was
Just
excited.
be ready
Yeah.
for it. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Keep refreshing your Instagram page. Keep going.
And let me hit them with my we didn't do any of that stuff. No, the intros or any of that stuff. We gotta get them out of here. What do you want? The 15 second, 10 second?
Okay. So again, with this podcast, this series, this talk that we're doing, just wanted to touch base with what was going on. I know we haven't done one in a while. Some people want me to put them out on a regular basis, weekly, talking about different subjects and things like that. But for the most part, I like to talk about what we do, not just our opinions and stuff like that. So this was a big one. Dedicate this one to my son, 16 years old. 1 year riding experience, and he rode from Las Vegas all the way up to Utah, Mount Zion, went all the way across over to Moab, and then rode the Colorado Rockies straight through Little Switzerland, Vail, Glenwood Springs, Breckenridge, beautiful scenery. Went through the canyon gorges of Utah, and then went through the Alps and Colorado Rockies. Just beautiful. Just riding through snow-capped mountains on the left and right, the ski resorts, everything was still going, but the roads was clean and dry. We timed it perfectly because you want to ride across the highest part of the mountain during the warmest part of the day. So we looked up the map and timed it out perfectly and rode through there. So we got through there about 60, I think it got to 64, 60, 64, maybe 66 degrees. I'm not certain. So the first leg of the ride was hot. It was 90 degrees, 87 and 90 degrees from Vegas to Utah. We rode through that, had a ball, and then, switched out our gear for the next day for the next ride and put on not cold weather gear, but we had to put on a little something, not our coldest weather gear, not that heavy stuff, but just nice layers and stuff like that. So real comfortable with the right gloves and things like that. So not too much, just more of the heavy duty jeans and things like that for the legs, with some thermals or whatever underneath it, leggings underneath it. But rode through there with no problem, and it was beautiful. Sun was shining, and he did it. He did it. And we did not ride like little girls either. I mean, we pushed it. I only know one way of riding, so I don't do any slow riding. I don't do that stuff. These are modern day machines ready to push it, and I ride it accordingly. So again, the minimum speed limit across the whole thing was 75, 80 miles an hour, mostly 80. It didn't get to 75 till you went to the towns a little bit, and then it went down, but it was 80 miles an hour. So it's the same speeds as Texas when you get in there. So imagine going up through those gorges and canyons and twists and long bends and all that stuff at about, we try to keep it around 90. I didn't really want to push him too much. So of course, some of the straightaways, we just raced it and had a ball. He definitely enjoyed that. That Z650 definitely got it up to about 120 miles an hour. So he had a chance to race it and push it to the limit for that one. And that was pretty cool. I think it taps out at around 120. It could go a little faster. I don't know. He has to learn. He should have downshifted and then kicked it up a little bit. But he had fun. But mainly we did the whole thing around about, I say 87, 90 miles an hour. We tried to stay around there. I wanted to conserve some gas. And we got decent gas mileage. That Z650 is pretty, it conserves gas. I don't know, the gas is pretty good. Its tank is not as big, but it just burns less gas or something for whatever reason, but it had a ball. And at about 90 miles an hour, it did pretty good. He was getting about 167 miles. We didn't wait till went on E because when you're going through those areas, the towns are farther apart. So if you don't get gas when you're supposed to, you're gonna have some problems. So when we got to a major town, we just stopped and filled up whether we needed it or not. But again, those were the only stops, and he had a ball, and we did that trip in 2 days. So again, I set it up for like maybe 3 days or maybe 4 if he needed it. But for the most part, he did 5.5 hours the first trip and about 5.5 the second trip, and that was it. And we had a ball. So high speed, cutting through the canyons, going to Twins. I mean, it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. It was phenomenal. So again, these are dream rides for some people. There's everyday rides for Another Ride Day. So just wanted to pass that on. But I definitely want to dedicate this podcast to him. He did an outstanding job. I couldn't ask for anything better. Whatever he did wrong, we had a conversation when we got gas, but for the most part, no, he did it. He stuck those turns like it was nothing. Held this line when he was supposed to. Did the positions, pointed that bike in the right direction and basically counter steered and kept it going. So we did everything from long bends, twisties. They had the elevation changes were ridiculous when you had to go up. But when you went down, I think it was 5 and 6 degree declines going down the hills the whole time. Yeah, it was beautiful. But he did it. He did it. he did it. So I don't know. If he's doing this at age 16, I can't imagine what he'll be doing later. But I mean, yeah, he's an official rider now, without a doubt. So this kind of takes all the excitement away from some of the local riders. So, a lot of times when you don't ride your bike a lot of the local people, you hop on your bike, you get so excited, like you have ADHD and you blast around the crowded beltway and stuff like that. And nothing's wrong with it, but it's just that that's the only thing you got because you haven't went anywhere else. But at age 16, he's crossing the Colorado Rockies on a sport bike. I mean, we're going to see what's next for him. So he's good. So he may come on a few other trips. He may not. It depends on his schedule. But this is dedicated to him. So he did an outstanding job. So that's it for today. So any questions, any whatever, y'all had the information. I'll click it one more time. Y'all know how to get us. AnotherRideDay@gmail.com. Check out the website, Another Ride Day. One word, no spaces, AnotherRideDayAltogether.com. On the website, we're trying to work on the website how it shows on the phone. It works perfectly on the site, but then when you show the mobile phone, it's a little different. So we got to work on that a little bit. Instagram, we definitely got all types of pictures in Instagram. Look up Another Ride Day altogether, no spaces, all the words together on Instagram, and also Ride Life ARDTV. That's also on Instagram. You'll see pictures and posts and video, and we'll keep information going from that and from there. So that's that. And outside of that, that's pretty much it. So thanks for rolling with me again. Until the next time, which may be a couple of weeks. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not just going to do random weekly podcasts just to talk about all types of stuff. I want to talk about some of the stuff we do, places we've been to, rides, things like that. But if you guys do want some information on, I think it was luggage was the topic some people were talking about. We can do some segment on that. If you want to talk about the helmets, we can do that a little bit as well. It's going to be up to you guys. So you leave me some comments, you send me some emails. I'll make it a part of the conversation, and we can go from there. Any other major topics or things you want me to check out, we'll definitely do that. But as for now, that's pretty much it. So we're about an hour and 20 minutes, so went a little longer. But thank y'all for rolling with me. Again, this is dedicated to my son. Phenomenal. Did the Colorado Rockies, so I can't say too much more about him. Can't brag and boast enough. He just outstanding job. I'm just happy for him that he actually did that and did it well. So that's it. Y'all enjoy until next time. Welcome to Another Ride Day. Stay safe. And let me hit y'all with an outro, and that is it. Let's see.